Hello, hello. On today's show, I'm going to tell you what I think of the Avatar, the Last Airbender series. I got the complete show watched. Mike and Karen are really excited about the pick 3 this week. Pat, and then Pat is going to tell us if he's finally had enough of Ryan North's Fantastic Four. And then lastly, Michael's here. He's going to let us know what's up with Pokemon. Welcome to your favorite live streaming whatnotting podcast, Comics and Collectibles in the Crawl Space by Xcellar Comics. I am, according to my kids, your favorite podcaster, Kevin, and we got a full house today with a special guest in the house. Let's start with that special guest. You want to say hello, Michael? What's up? I think you're still muted. And then, of course, Mike is here.
Hey, I had to make sure I wasn't muted.
Oh,
Good morning, Michael. Good morning, Kevin.
Good morning. Your Mike. Your Mike. The third Mike in the room. Your Mike's Mike.
Mike's Mike is not miking.
Is totally wrecked your hello, Mike. But anyway, Patrick's here as well.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. And then last but not least, again, of course, Karen is with us. Awesome. I actually want to start today with something we haven't visited for a while, but here we are. I'm going to start with a random username shout out. We had a couple new buyers in our Whatnot show last night. So I figured I'd start with that shout out. I want to give a shout out to 21 Suave 41. And the way the random username shout out works is if you hear your name shouted out during a show and you actually comment that hey, I'm here during the show, you get a big discount on anything we have to offer anywhere we sell comics and collectibles. And if you hear it after the show, you didn't check us out in the live stream, we'll still give you a substantial discount then. So just let us know you're watching the show if you hear a shout out from us. I'm going to try to get to that a little bit again. I actually like that. I was thinking about that also. All right, and then of course, Mike, do you like how I intertwined your little tease there with the pick 3? You know, I'm leaning towards the excited part, but I will say I'm a little bit more excited to see what Michael's got to show us because it's a little bit more irregular. So no offense, Mike.
Oh, everything taken.
The audience is with us today, and hey, Michael, I actually I've been doing Pokemon shows on the Whatnot app for a few weeks now as well.
Oh, that's right, you have been.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to send you an invite one night that I'm running the show. Maybe I might get lucky and have you on the show because I need some help. That's for sure.
Oh, you got this. Yeah, you don't need my help. I'll just be on the sidelines though. I'll join in. I'll join in the fanfare though.
I appreciate that. It's the same way when Mike's on the comic show. It's I feel like I've got a personality, take it or leave it, that I express regularly during my shows. But sometimes people want some deeper info about the stuff I'm showing, and I don't know anywhere near as much as Mike or with comics or obviously you with Pokemon. Hey, what's up, your grandpa? Good morning. All right, we ready to get to it?
Yeah. On that Pokemon show, you actually do some breaks, right? Is that the way you open the packs and right there?
Well, if people buy the packs, then that's when I'll break them. Yeah, but I don't just do it until after they're purchased.
Right.
I primarily, I run obviously trying to sell the booster packs and the blister packs and some extra stuff as well, but mostly singles. Because I've got some early '90s singles. Which when did Pokemon first come around, Michael? Was that in like '94? I think.
No. So Pokemon officially started in '96.
Okay.
Over in Japan, it reached the States around what, 99, 98, 99?
Really?
Yeah, I think that's what we used to play when Ty was little.
Yeah.
We had stacks upon stacks. I know those were all the first ones. So I'm mad that I don't have them anymore.
Right.
Yeah,
well, I guess that explains why a lot of my singles are first editions then. Yeah. So, because, they're from the late 90s then, apparently. So, all right. But we'll get to that in a little bit. I know everyone's waiting to see what I watched. It's going to be a lot of revisits with something we haven't talked about yet, but I've been wanting to. You ready for this, Michael?
Yeah, I am.
All right. Here we go. All right, I'm actually going to start with the audience is in today, Pat.
I hear that.
I love it. I love it. Anyway, I was going to say, I'm starting with the Avatar, The Last Airbender. Michael, this might be something that's up your alley. You like Avatar?
Yes.
Have you been watching this?
It is a cornerstone series. I'm about to. It's on my watch list, actually.
Okay.
But I've seen some sneak peeks and people spoiling it for me, which I'm no stranger for spoilers. I don't mind it too much.
Okay.
So, but I'm hyped to actually watch it myself, like fully. Awesome. I got to sit down and just go through it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. This might have been one that maybe you had watched already. Just missed that one by apparently a week or two. But and there's not really much to spoil in this, obviously, if you're familiar with the animated series at all.
Yeah, this is a live action adaptation of it. So
yeah,
nothing too different. Well, I say too different. I'm certain there are some differences to set it apart from the original.
Right.
And what I know of better than the Shyamalan movie that came out, we don't speak of it, but unfortunately I committed that cardinal sin by speaking of it.
Okay. Well, I actually talked to Tyler about this yesterday because he was more of an animated series fan than me, and I talked to him about some differences, and he said it's pretty close to the animated series. The biggest thing, I don't know whether it was even complaint, maybe just a critique, is, and this is kind of goes with any of these types of projects, that when you have a show, and I think what was the animated was like 4 seasons long, they're cramming like 20 or 30 episodes from the first season of the animation into, well, I think this is 8 episodes in season 1 here. So, you got to cram a lot more information into a short period of time. So that breeds changes by itself, aside from anything else. And then he had a couple, casting critiques, which I really couldn't speak to those too much, in my opinion. But we both agreed that Aang, the Avatar, of course, was, they nailed it with casting this kid. He's great. And so, like I said, I watched the entire series of every episode of season 1. And I was liking what I had seen so far when I started last week. So I just said I'd come back this week and give my final review. And I'm just going to continue on with my praise of this show. I do have some complaints about episode 7, which I really won't get into too much. But aside from episode 7, for me, every other episode was a lot of fun. looked great, acting's great. Yeah, man, I commented last week too about special effects with these kind of shows. It just blows my mind how they're like legit, So I'm gonna give my overall rating of season 1 of Avatar: The Last Airbender a 8. 8 bags of popcorn, real quality.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would say that's a solid estimate overall, at least from the knowledge that I have of it. Like there's the nitpicks that I've heard on Twitter and such, but it's like, I guess those are minor, but at the same time, like they still play into the quality or the enjoyment of the overall series. Like I said, like they're cramming the entirety of book 1 into 8 episodes. These are like, how long are these episodes?
An hour.
Like an hour. Okay, so effectively like 2. How many episodes were there? It was like 20 or something. So like 4 episodes worth of the series within one movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, so yeah, good stuff. And so I recommend it. That is on Netflix.
I showed after last week's show, I pulled up the trailer. Marcus and I watched it, and yeah, we both think it looks great. We haven't started watching it yet. We're finishing up with the third Hobbit movie.
Okay.
And I have an unpopular opinion. I actually think maybe the 3 Hobbit movies were better than the Ring movies.
That is.
I'm just really enjoying them a whole lot more. Maybe because I haven't seen them as many times, but yeah, I'm really enjoying them.
Well, my opinion of the Hobbits, getting off on a little side story here, but whatever. My opinion on the Hobbits a little unpopular too. I love them. And I've always said I'd like them as much as I liked the original trilogy. I wouldn't say more, but yeah, I loved them. And yeah, people complained about those a bit. Where are you on the Hobbit series, Pat?
Here's an unpopular opinion.
Oh, geez.
I think I've only ever seen the first one.
That is unpopular.
Yeah. But you have them all, but never got around to finishing it.
They're good. They're good.
Yeah. Excellent. They're excellent. Absolutely.
My unpopular opinion on it is, well, I like both, but it's like, I think what plays into it is that the Hobbit and the directors that they had showed up a little later and actually worked with it and used what they already knew and just exemplified it even more. And they didn't mess up. That's the real thing. They didn't mess it up.
Right. Agreed.
So like if that same crew, maybe if they redid Lord of the Rings, now granted I would put a whole pitchfork up my alley. Don't do that.
Right.
But like if they redid it, I wouldn't be mad as long as they don't mess it up. That's all I gotta say.
Right.
But it's like, can't take away from the classic. So like Lord of the Rings is still iconic, memorable the way how they actually did. They pulled that one off very well. But I do agree I like the Hobbit quite a lot.
Heck yeah. But speaking of messing stuff up, I also watched Halo on Paramount Plus.
What messing up? This was heading in the right direction.
No, I just wanted to kind of use that. This did put a little bit of a pitchfork up my alley, though, on this episode. Episode 5. If you guys remember what I talked about, first of all, obviously this is Halo on Paramount Plus, season 2, episode 5 dropped this week. I've been staying on top of it, and if you all remember my critique of episode 4 is I still thought it was good, but man, they've got these long drawn out drama moments, especially with Master Chief. There's other characters involved in these as well, but especially with Master Chief, I don't think fit quite right. And man, what they did there, they just doubled down with in episode 5, driving me nuts. So I'll start with the good and end with the bad on this. So this is still. The acting's great. I think the casting's good. The special effects are awesome, and it's still Halo. So overall, I'm still enjoying it. But man, in episode 5, who's the hero, Mike? Who's the hero of Halo?
Master Chief.
Yeah, exactly. So guess what they did with episode 5 that's going to make me mad?
They didn't have Master Chief in it, kind of like.
No, that was good. I was actually thinking that as soon as I questioned that, but no, worse. He was in it, but he was on his back suffering and like whimpering and stuff. Like seriously, the second half of episode 5 has Master Chief wincing and crawling around like you've never seen and never wanted to see Master Chief act, while other people are being the hero. I'm like, what are you doing?
You're telling me they made him a human? Oh,
Yes, he's not a human though.
Not, yeah.
He's a modified human.
I know. That's what.
Yeah, essentially they made him just a human. Exactly. Yeah. So it was driving me nuts because, like I said, it was. I would guess, and I'm going to be literal for a minute. I would say literally for 20 minutes, Master Chief's literally the one being carried and dragged around and saved by all the other characters that everyone that came to the show wasn't there to watch. They're there. At least it makes sense to me, in my opinion. If you're watching Halo, you're watching it to see Master Chief kick some butt. You're not watching it to see Master Chief get his butt kicked and then carried by everyone else around him. Drove me nuts. So annoying, you know.
Yeah.
And then after that, they doubled down for the last 10 minutes of the episode with a totally long, drawn out. Remember, I told you there was a scene in episode 4 where Master Chief was like all sad and all in his feels and not fighting in the middle of a fight because one of his buddies died. Well, we got Master Chief on his butt and everybody saving him for 20 minutes. And then the last 10 minutes of the episode, we get this sentimental, reminded me of the too much of this stuff in Black Panther 2 with just like this long drawn out, remembrance of this buddy, so,
Yeah, you kind of want him, if his buddy goes down, you kind of want him to just go like insane.
Right.
And just trash it. Yeah,
that's gonna make him kill more Covenant, not start crying about it.
Yeah, as much as we know from the actual original series overall, it's like, yeah, no, that'd be hair raising,
right?
For this character, unlike in like how you use Black Panther, for example, where it's an actual sorrowful moment to mourn Chadwick Boseman for his passing, but also they play it well as far as the story goes. And the story beats kind of play into it. While this one, to my understanding, like, I haven't seen it myself, but it's like it kind of feels off kiltered from what the character possibly might do. Like there are times you can be the tough and gruff character, and then you can have a moment of weakness. But it seems like this moment of weakness is completely out of left field.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Exactly. So, this is dropping this down a little bit for me because this is like pretty much 2 episodes of as good as not good, in my opinion. So, I'm going to give episode 5 like a 6, which I think might bring the entire series down so far with season 2 down to like a 7 bag. That's where we are now. So they better pick up the pace and start doing things right for the rest of this season. Stay tuned. All right. And then I'm gonna review something that Mike's breaking his own rules with pick 3. I'm gonna start breaking my own rules with what Kevin watched, and we're not. And like this is kind of half and half. I want to talk about True Detective. This is season 4, Night Country. It's not. I said last week it's not exactly geek culture, but it's it kind of plays to that in this season. There's a lot of kind of supernatural stuff going on. It's really kind of fantastical in that way. But this is on HBO Max. It's Max. Look at that. It says HBO original, and this is on Max. And they don't even have HBO in the title anymore. What are you gonna do? What are you doing? Apparently, it's a Max original. But anyway, so this has got Jodie Foster, and I don't know that other young lady's name. If you can, her name's right there below Jodie Foster.
Callie Reese.
Yeah. This is a cool poster, though, isn't it, Pat?
Yeah, I like it.
Has anybody watched this besides Karen?
Nope.
No.
Michael, have you watched any True Detectives?
No, I haven't. I can't say that I have.
They're good stuff. They're good stuff in general. So check them out. Season 1's definitely the best. All right. So
And they're self-contained.
Yeah, they're all self-contained seasons.
Right.
They don't have anything to do with
Okay, they don't play off into a long-winded story. It's
right.
Okay,
exactly.
so each season is its own narrative. Okay, cool.
Exactly. So I'm gonna just kind of rip this Band-Aid off. Man, I hated this season so bad. Sorry about it, Karen. Karen said she loved it. Me and my wife are kind of in the same camp on this one too. So just to give everybody full rounded opinions. So we got Karen loving it. My wife not. I didn't. And basically the problem with this, let me defend it against myself essentially. Jesse was like ready to be done with this, my wife, in like 3 episodes. She was like so not enjoying it from the get. And I wouldn't really say I was enjoying it, but it was definitely compelling. The plot of this story is very interesting. Takes place in Alaska. It probably helps it has a lot of snow and it's cold all the time too. I'm a sucker for that. But anyway, it takes place in Alaska, and there's this mysterious native, Eskimos, whatever. Is that derogatory now or something? I don't know. Whatever the Native Americans are there. It kind of, the whole show kind of encompass, it's kind of like any show you'd watch with like just Native Americans, Indians, kind of following their lore and what they believe and stuff. And it involves a lot of supernatural, when people die, they don't really go away. They just kind of linger sometimes for miscellaneous reasons, which of course happens in this season a lot. And basically Jodie Foster, and that's kind of her partner, the other lady. Again, I can't, whatever her name was that you mentioned, Mike. She's not even really her partner. They kind of used to be partners, and they come together because of these 2 separate cases that meet at once, and it involves like 9 guys that are found frozen out on a part of a frozen sea in Alaska. And it reminds you of The Thing, John Carpenter's Thing. Remember when The Thing came out? It had like multiple heads squirting out of each other and arms and stuff, and it looked really freaky. Remember that? Well, in like episode 2 of this season, they actually find these guys frozen like that out in the middle of the ice on this lake. It's really creepy. And then they, this is kind of X-File-y in the way too, that Jodie Foster's not buying any of the supernatural hocus pocus stuff, but her partner, she's actually a native Alaskan or whatever, that she totally buys into all of this. So it's this push you pull you kind of storyline to where they give you a moment where you're like, whoa, this is legit. And then they give you another moment where like, man, yeah, Jodie Foster's right, so it's interesting, very interesting to me, but the acting and the writing is just woeful. Yeah, I'm not going to blame the acting on the actresses in this show. I'm literally going to, I'm thinking they were directed to act the way they're acting, if you know what I mean. It's kind of like I was talking about this to Tyler too. He blames Anakin's poor acting on the directing and writing of his, dialogue, rather than Hayden Christensen's acting, that old thing, so I'm going to place that on this show.
Oh,
that's why. What's that, Mike?
Jodie Foster's got years and years of good acting, so we know expectations of her. Yeah. So she can just knock it out of the park. So when she doesn't, how much can you blame her? It's got to be something.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying, because I love Jodie Foster. That's the biggest reason I was excited to watch this season. So, but yeah, it's really, it's like cringeworthy bad. And then, man, they don't want any likable characters in this whole show too. Man, like every character is unlikable in my opinion. It's, you know, you give me a couple people that you're kind of rooting for, you know? It's like everybody in this is a jerk. It's like no nice guys. Well, maybe there's this one kid, but then he ends up being a jerk, you know? So, you know, this is a train wreck in my opinion. I'm like so disappointed with this. But because it's kind of a compelling, cool story plot line, I'm going to give it 3 bags of popcorn. Otherwise, I'd give it 1. But
well, I think the writer, or I think she was brought back for another season, wasn't she?
Oh my God, I hope not.
I think so.
Jeez, oh man, I even heard the original True Detective series producer that he actually
Creator.
did. Yeah. He was actually complaining about this season too, about how bad of a job she did. I heard that on Twitter or something, X or
I'm
something.
gonna look it up.
Yeah, I had brought that up that he was unhappy that it was tied in some way to his first season.
Oh, okay. Yeah, season 1 is great though, and I think season 2 and season 3 were fine. They were pretty good. Season 1 was just excellent in my opinion. I think, you know, that's what these things do. They don't know when to stop. They just, you know, eventually put out some poor stuff, you know. But I won't be mad if there's a season 5. I'll check it out and hopefully they get their act together. But
nope. 6 days ago from Screen Rant, True Detective season 5 is confirmed, and Issa Lopez is returning as showrunner. There you go.
Nice.
Happy viewing.
Maybe I won't check it out.
The only thing you can hope for at this point is that they do better. That's it.
Yeah, maybe she hears the critiquing and the complaining and changes something. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. All right. That will do it for me. Like I said, mostly revisits this week with what Kevin watched.
Yeah. That being said, Emily and I are still going to watch season 4.
Right.
We got to give it a shot. We'll see if we make it. If we make it past episode 3, then if that's where Jesse was ready to bail.
Yes. Yeah.
Because I think you and I had talked about.
Jesse's actually right here beside me. She's like, no, episode 1. At episode 1, I was ready to be done. So I thought it was 3. Anyway,
we watched Reacher, and we were loving Reacher, and then we took a break from it, and we watched season 3 of True Detective, and absolutely loved it. And then we went back to Reacher, and I had trouble getting through that episode because True Detective season 3 was just so well written, so smart, and the dialogue is great. And then you get to this Reacher, and I was just like, really? I liked this? It was just a bad comparison. So.
Yeah, probably bad timing in the watching order there, I guess, maybe, or something. Yeah. Speaking of, you want something good to know of movies, man, me and Jesse have been binging the entire series of Mission Impossible to get to the newest one because we hear it's so epic. And we just watched Rogue Nation. That is insane. If you want to go with some crazy insanity action, man, Rogue Nation, that was the latest one. Before, well, I don't know what's the newest one called? Dang it. Anyway, shouldn't be talking about things I can't remember. But Rogue Nation is a previous one aside from this newest one that just came out recently. And it is ridiculous. It's got Henry Cavill in it too. It's insane. Check it out.
I've got to catch up.
Yeah, I think it's like this is number 8. Mission Impossible will go to 8.
We're getting the Fast and Furious levels. Actually, we're already there.
Right.
I'm on 2.
All right, the 2's a good one too. They're all good in different ways. So anyway, all right. Pat, are you ready for the pick 3?
I guess so.
All right.
All right. All right, we've got a someone outside of our group here. With Michael guest hosting today. He'll be the final say on this. Is this 10? This is good 10 covers or not, Michael? What say you?
Hold on a second. I'm eyeballing. I shut off for a moment. What? No, okay. Yeah, no, these are actually really, aside from one of them like throws it off for me, but like all these are like pretty good, really good. I like these.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna run down.
I have my 3. I have my own personal 3.
Oh,
We can talk
good.
about that one later.
Okay.
Awesome. All right, we'll start off with so covers chosen from a list of 469, and they have a shelf date of March 6th. We'll start off with Shazam number 9 from Dan Mora. Rivals number 7.
Mike, your mic is
Yeah.
going crazy.
I know it's a Transformers tie-in, but geez, Mike, you don't have to take it to these levels.
Really? It's still bad.
You sound like you literally Pat's nailing it. You sound like a transformer. That's what you sound like.
Awesome. So I should keep it.
No, we can't understand you. You sound like a transformer talking in what's the name of their planet?
Oh, still?
Cybertronian.
It's still bad?
Right now, you're good. Go.
Right now, you're good. Right now.
All right, let me hurry up. Batman Scooby-Doo Mysteries number 3. Is it bad?
Oh, man. All right, try one more time, Mike. Maybe talk slower.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, I just unplugged my mic.
Okay, you sound good now.
Yeah,
Well, you can
work.
tell you don't have a mic in, but you don't sound digitized anymore.
All right, dang it. That's a waste of $100 and something. Anyway, where was I? Batman and Scooby-Doo Mysteries number 3, Dario Brzula. Aliens What If number 1, Scotty Young. Batman 145. Hold on. That's the Matteo Scalera 1:25 ratio variant. Poison Ivy number 20. Tula Latte 1:25 ratio variant. The Fog number 1, Christian Rosado. Batman 145, James Stocco 150 ratio. Dark Souls, The Willow King number 2, Alan Qua, and Gunslinger Spawn 29, Von Randall. Thinking about my microphone.
Hey, it might be your connection though, because you did it a couple times. It was better without your mic, but you still did it a couple times. But it was much better. Yeah. Anyway, man. Yeah, this is a really hot week. I think it's good. I actually might have spoiled the pick 3 a little bit for Proton on the show last night. I'm like, man, can that new Aliens cover in the pick 3 was awesome. I was like, wait, is that that might be this week? He hadn't seen it yet. So I think it was kind of worked for a teaser. Broton's excited to see the Aliens cover. I told him that's going to be Scotty Young. That's awesome. And I love that cover.
Yep. Yeah, I was excited about this week. I thought they're all great.
Yeah, I'm not really feeling that. What's that 1:50 ratio beside Dark Souls again? What is that again?
Yeah, Batman 145 from James. I figured it's not going to appeal to everybody, but I love it. If it wasn't a 1:50, I would definitely buy it. Marcus got a kick out of the Kool-Aid Man things there, getting run over.
I didn't realize that's what they were. Okay, yeah, nice.
Yeah. I mean, this puts me in mind of just some old Mad Magazine stuff.
Agreed. Yep.
So it's just right up my alley. And I looked it up. I can probably pick up a copy for $30, but I'm not going to.
All right, Pat. What did you have anything in particular you wanted to say about it?
I had 4 that I liked. So yeah, it's not horrible. It's just coming after last week, which I liked them all except for that stubby legged Batman cover.
That one.
Yeah, the one. Yeah, correct. The one. Yeah, it was maybe just a little bit of a letdown from last week, but there was 4 that I really liked this week. So
Okay. All right.
Well, they all actually, one cover didn't receive any votes.
Oh, is it the Batman we're talking about?
No, come on, dude. I voted for that.
Oh, that's true. Okay. Shazam then. Or no, Gunslinger.
Yeah, Gunslinger.
Okay. Gunslinger at this point is getting to me like Ghost Rider and his motorcycle and Batman on a gargoyle. I feel like I see Gunslinger staring at me ominously like it's high noon on 9 out of 10 Gunslinger covers. I don't know.
It's the only Spawn book that I regret dropping. I wish I would have continued to get it.
Oh, really? Why you say that in particular?
Well, he's a gunslinger.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you heard it was.
Yeah, I like westerns and cowboys and stuff like that. So,
well, you knew that when you dropped it, though. You just,
I know, but
okay,
I regret it.
Okay. All right. So, who won this week then?
All right. Well, let's start with third place. So make you happy, Kevin. We've got Dark Souls, the King #2, Alan Qua.
Nice. I voted for this. Pat?
Yep.
I voted for this one as well.
Did you vote for this, Mike?
Did I vote for it? No. I voted for that Batman. You highlighted this one in previews, right? And this is the variant. The A cover, man, the A cover was sweet too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chose this one because I knew that you would like this one because you had highlighted this one, and I knew that Patrick would really because he's sitting on a throne. I was like, you know what? If I don't pick it, it helps both my partners in crime here. So,
hey, not to name drop or anything, but Alan Qua actually reached out to us and he was like, "Hey, thanks for highlighting my book."
Oh, cool.
Did you see that, Pat?
No, I didn't.
Yeah. It was pretty cool. Gotta love when that kind of thing happens.
Yep.
Did you order this? Are you going to review this?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, who knows if I'll get around to reviewing it, but yeah, I ordered it. Yep.
Oh, but you ordered it. Okay, cool. All right. Let's see. Let's get to #2. And this is exciting for me.
Mike, the verdict is in. It's not your microphone.
But it is better. It
is still better, but it's not your microphone. Yeah.
I caramba. It's actually the computer. I'm using a different computer than
that's it.
That'll do it.
Yep.
I think I have another port. Okay.
Hey, can people follow us on? Can people subscribe to Patreon so we can all afford new microphones and laptops, please?
Yeah, including me, the guest.
There you go. That'd be great.
Including Michael. All right, Mike's doing some adjustments still. See if we can figure this robotizing happening out.
Oh, I just realized I didn't even mention like my 3 that I liked. I like I like the Alien, the Batman one that was right next to the Alien, and then I also liked. What was it? The Fog. Those were the 3. And then my honorable mention, if I had a 4th pick, would have been the Void Rivals.
Okay, nice. Isn't that Dark Souls awesome, though?
It is.
Yeah. Yeah, but you can only pick 3. Yep, that's the tough part about pick 3. Pat, you're shaking your head when he mentioned his Aliens opinion. Did you like this, Scotty Young? Do you like this Aliens?
You're muted, Mike. If you're trying to talk.
There we go.
There.
I changed ports, USB ports here.
Maybe okay.
That might just be enough.
Yep. So anyway, like Michael was saying, Void Rivals made his number 4. There it is at our 2.
Okay.
And that's exciting. This
Little-
is one of the best covers for Void Rivals, in my opinion. The other ones were kind of cool, but this one stands out.
Yeah, I really like this one.
Yeah, me too. Kind of looks like a combination of a Star Wars character and Destroyer from Thor.
Yeah.
Looks really cool. Yeah, I like that one. I think I'm 2 for 2 so far.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm 1,
Can we get a full
Patrick.
sweep?
Nice.
Full sweep. All right. And finally, you're super touchy here. At number 1, we've got Batman 145 Matteo Scalera, the 1-in-25 ratio variant.
Nice. I didn't vote for this one though, I don't think.
Guess who did?
Michael.
But guess who else did?
Mike.
Right, but guess who else did?
Patrick.
Patrick. There you go. He loves this week.
Nice.
Perfectly. You know, it's funny though. I knew this Batman was going to win, and I almost didn't want to vote for it because of that.
That's why you and Mike get along so well. I've said that to Mike for years that part of the requirement of something he really loves is not a whole lot of other people can love it.
Look how great this is. Everybody loves it. Yeah, I don't think so then.
I was flip-flopping between the 2 Batman covers. I almost wanted to vote for the vehicle Batman cover just because it was so weird and cool. And the other half of me was because the Matteo Scalera cover is just so, in a way, generic, but in another way, awesome. So I ultimately went with the Bat Signal cover.
Yep. Well, yeah, I have to thank your family, Patrick, because they're the only ones that voted with me for the 1-in-50.
Oh.
I was close. I was very close.
Yep. So, there you go. Go get them this Wednesday. But that's our winner.
Man, I need to get those fog. Yeah. How many?
Yeah,
how many issues is that going to be?
Oh, geez. He asks these hard questions.
No,
Did
sorry.
you vote for it, Karen?
Karen believes she voted for this Batman as well.
Oh, you know what? I'm sorry.
Oh no, the other Batman, the 1-in-50. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Constance, me and Valor. Yeah. Anyway, everybody's initials are the same.
Yeah, right.
Now I have to go double check what Karen sent to me. Hopefully I didn't mess it up.
Oh, and Karen's also fact checking us. Thanks, Karen. The latest Mission Impossible is Dead Reckoning Part 1. It's one of those Part 1, Part 2 movies.
Well, I believe I heard about that Mission Impossible that because of the performance of this first one, that they're not calling the second one Part 2. They're giving it a different name. But I might be wrong about that.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Well,
I was just getting ready to add. Sorry, go ahead.
I just said I might not be 100% on that, and then you said, "Is that right?" And I said, "Yes." So I don't even know what I'm talking about. So who knows? Fact check it for yourself.
Well, hey, if you're wrong, it's okay anyway. We can all make mistakes.
Yeah,
I'm fact checking Karen here. Karen, you voted for this one, this Batman, the Matteo Batman. I was talking about the crazy one, the 1-in-50.
Yeah.
On there with the crazy motorcycle.
Yeah. And the cool. And the Kool-Aid Man. That's what's so great about podcasts when you got multiple hosts talking about different subjects at the same time. That's so smooth.
Thanks, Mike.
And, New York Mike fact checking us too, saying that Patrick is accurate on Mission Impossible. Okay, interesting. I was actually gonna say, I wonder why they do that sometimes with Part 1, Part 2. Yeah, just make it another movie. I mean, unless you're across the Spider-Verse where you don't make any sense unless you're one movie. I don't know. I'd rather have a 4-hour across the Spider-Verse though.
But here's the thing, like, even though it's a 4-hour, like, even though it's like part 1, part 2, part 3, if you really think about it, they don't even call it that. But a lot of these other movies are saying, hey, here's the first half, here's the second half. Like, they deliberately tell you.
Yeah.
It's like they're doing what, like, going back, like, hey, Lord of the Rings. This is Lord of the Rings, not Lord of the Rings 1, not Lord of the Rings 2, or same thing with Star Wars. Isn't Star Wars? Well, we know there are episodes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, but they give it an actual name and they don't call it the number, do they? I don't remember. I'm just grasping straws.
That's complicated, Michael. Back in the day, old fogies like us just remember First of all, Star Wars was just Star Wars.
Yes.
And then it was Empire Strikes Back, and then it was Return of the Jedi. And then they come out with the prequels, and then they got to name Star Wars A New Hope.
That's when the numbers kicked in. That's right.
Yeah, Episode 4, Star Wars A New Hope. Episode 5, Star Wars Empire Strikes Back. That's gotten crazy. That's a whole different animal.
It's all different.
They had to do that.
By that argument is like some of these movies, they just gave it the name, and we, as the audience, we know what part it is. You don't have to tell us this is part 1, part 2. We'll just see it ourselves.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly. All right. That was interesting. We were all over the place on that one. I love it, though. I love it. So let's get more focused, though. Let's get focused on what we read. Can't wait to hear what Michael read this week. Just kidding, Michael. No pressure. Did you read a comic this week by chance, though? That would be lucky.
No, I had the pleasures of reading philosophy books.
Okay. I'll see.
Go ahead and review that for us.
He had the real fun. But you know, it'd been perfect if Michael just coincidentally read some manga or comic this week, because coincidentally, Mike collected some Pokemon this week.
Yeah,
I haven't. There was one manga my roommate has, Might and Magic. I did read that, but it's like they just have volume 1 on the shelves. I'm like, oh, I'll just pick it up, I'll just read it real quickly. And it's like, oh, okay, this is kind of funny.
That's what the name of that book was. We were trying to think that has that frame look to it. Isn't something in Might and Magic or something like that?
Yeah, Marshall. I forgot how it's
Did it ring a
pronounced.
bell for you guys, Patrick? No.
I know what book you're talking about, but I do not remember the name
You
of
need
it.
to remember the name of that.
Yeah.
Because I'm glad you know what book I'm talking about. Whenever I say it, Mike's gonna be like, "Oh yeah, that does have framed artwork." Yeah. So anyway, Mike, you're first with your review. What you got to review this week?
all right. Well, I didn't really have time to read a book, but I was driving around some old back roads and I found this old gas station, and I bought these Pokemon cards
Nice.
and an egg salad sandwich. It's pretty good.
That's risky. I don't know what's more risky, eating the egg salad sandwich or a blind pack of Pokemon cards like that.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably the Pokemon cards.
Well, if you know you got to. You got a homemade egg salad sandwich. That's the money, though. But yeah, you buy them from those backwoods gas stations. That's when it gets kind of rough.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know, these are. I'm not a lot in here. These are the extra cards that they just buy up. I imagine big warehouses, and they just pack them up and sell them. It was initially $7.99. No chance I was ever going to pay that, but they had them marked down to 99 cents, so I bought them.
I scanned through there real quick. They got any cool foils or anything in there?
Well, the first one is a foil, but maybe we'll just do that one last. Yeah, that one's kind of junk. I'm guessing, I don't know if any of these are going to be good. Michael will probably let us know. But there's 10 cards, and we've got the trainer card, rubber gloves. Can't imagine that's worth.
No, you're holding 5 cents.
Yeah. Double turbo energy.
You're holding 50 cents.
Well, let's see if he makes
Combined
it
or
color
just
back.
singular?
So that one's singular. That's a good card, mind you. That's a good
Oh,
card.
the
That's
double
used.
turbo energy. Okay.
That's played
Uh,
as far as collectibles.
Tarantula.
All right.
That's kind of neat. Some of these names. Lily Pup. Yeah. And is that right? Hippopotamus? Is that
Hippopotas? Yeah.
I can't even say these things.
Right.
You got to have a class just to learn how to say the Pokemon names. Lumbre. And Swoobat.
I love Swoobat.
How about Scraggy? Two more.
Okay.
Lit Leo.
Little Leo. Is it Little Leo? Is it
Yeah, it's
Little Leo. Little Leo. Yeah. Right.
And
I love
the
that guy.
foil. Yeah, the foil one is Kangaskhan.
Oh, I love Kangaskhan. Can you put that closer to the screen?
That's
No.
actually a personal favorite of mine in
Yeah.
its own weird way. It's not a great card by any stretch
Yeah.
or like expensive card, but it's on my list of favorites because I don't know if the audience knows this or remembers this. If y'all are here or if you guys do, it's like I collect for some of the artists, and that Kangaskhan is one of the artworks that I go for.
Ah, nice.
So
Well, imagine you have this
whole
already, right?
binder this big, filled with like 5 different artists that I admire, and like that Kangaskhan is in that binder.
Nice.
All right, then. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and give these to Mark.
I've loved Kangaskhan ever since I found him in Pokemon Snap and took a really good picture of him.
That was such a fun game.
That is a great game. Do you like Pokemon Snap, Michael?
Yeah, I've played it. I remember it on the N64. I haven't played the new revamped one that they have, but I'm like, it's the same thing at the end of the day. Shooter on rails, but
Yeah.
it's so fun. I remember like the one thing which I never was able to do because I didn't have it in N64 at the time, but my neighbor did. But what they had, the function is you can go to a Blockbuster, RIP. You can go to a Blockbuster and print out the pictures that you've taken in the game. You can do the same thing, honestly, with the new Pokemon Snap because we're in the future. So
Right. Yeah, that was very cool. I remember doing that. That was good stuff. And
What system was that on first?
64.
I thought it was one of the little small.
No.
It wasn't on the Game Boy or anything like that. No, that was on the Nintendo 64.
Played the crap out of mine until it died. Seriously, we love that game so much. All right, anyway, so on to a real review.
Huh? What?
Because Patrick's the man.
Yeah, this is what I'm waiting for.
I'll give you a real review, all right. First of all, I spared you guys. I spared you because I'm not going to talk about Fantastic Four 12 or 13, where the Fantastic Four went to a alternate world where the heroes were all dinosaurs, because it was absolutely horrible and ridiculous.
Okay.
Sorry, Mike. I know you're a big fan of the mashup, but
the Jurassic League, I just posted they're making an animated movie for the Jurassic League from DC Comics.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, so I'm not going to talk about these. We'll just pretend they didn't even happen. How about that?
Well,
these are looking wild.
I got one question about it first, Pat.
Sure.
So all the heroes are dinosaurs. Why is Dr. Doom riding a dinosaur with the Dr. Doom mask on? What the heck is going on with that?
Because Dr. Doom is brilliant, and they conspired to somehow come together, and they're going to team up and eliminate one of the worlds.
Nice. Okay.
And rule together. But if you know anything about Dr. Doom, that's his ultimate downfall, because they couldn't trust each other and sabotaged each other and let the Fantastic Four win the day.
Oh, man. Okay. Does that dinosaur have a name? Is it like Doom Dinosaur or Dr. Dinosaur Doom or something?
Dinosaur Doom. Yeah, that's good.
It's just Doctor Doom. They don't. It's not like he calls himself Doctor Doom Human. It's just Doctor Doom.
It's
not
Doomasaur.
Doom.
Doomasaur.
Doomasaur.
Doomasaur. Come on.
All
Fair
right.
enough.
Yeah.
I'll say this. That is very enticing of a cover to make me want to pick that up just to see what it is. Because
Yeah, it's pretty cool cover.
It's like, what is
Well,
happening here?
Right.
Well, Michael, that's why they have Alex Ross doing all these covers, because they know he can sell some books. I think I was not intending to spend this much time on Fantastic Four 12 and 13. So let's get to number 14.
Okay. Is this
Now
Ryan
that I think
North's
of it, maybe
film?
12. Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah, it is still Ryan North. Now that I think of it, maybe I should spend more time on 12 and 13, because here we are, number 14. Fantastic Four number 14 by Ryan North and Ivan Fiorelli. He is sort of the B artist for the series. He fills in for Ibon Coelho. Of course, cover again by Alex Ross. We see Mr. Fantastic pretty much taking on all of the Sinister Syndicate, who's sort of like the female version of the Sinister Six, or what have you. This scene happens sort of. Anyway, it's been a year since Reed shunted the Baxter Building into the future. Remember all that stuff and how we've been waiting for the Baxter Building to return?
Yeah.
The Fantastic Four have traveled back in Manhattan for the big event. But first they get to the site of the Baxter Building, only to discover that something is being constructed there. It sort of looks like a radar dish, only I don't think the artist interpreted it correctly, because it looks like it's made out of wood, and it kind of just sinks the whole bit. Anyway, it gets even weirder because the work is being done by individuals who have downloaded the MetaMind app, and it rewards their efforts with in-app rewards. They get like gems for doing physical activity wherever this app tells them to do it. And it turns out, just so happens, that some of the people that are on the app and doing the work at the site, it turns out some of them are in the Sinister Syndicate. Imagine that. And it's at that point we get the only real action of this whole entire issue. Because from there on, we find out that after they wrap up their fight with the Sinister Syndicate, they find out that the developer of the app is named Dan Passy, and they go to his headquarters in Manhattan. Apparently, he lives right there close by. And Dan Passy goes on to explain his app and how he makes the app work. It's sort of like chaos theory, butterfly effect thing. And he goes on to explain how this works for 8 pages. And I figured this was a good time to include some screenshots of the interior. So here we go. I've got your 8 pages. I've got your 8 pages of Dan Passy explaining his application to the Fantastic Four.
Wow.
So good luck, Ivan Fiorelli, trying to sell these pages down the line, because they're certainly not very actiony and very dynamic. Yeah, so 8 pages of dialogue trying to explain how his app works. And basically how his app works is, and this is something that gets me with Ryan North. We've talked about this before. He tries to include like a science experiment lesson with every issue practically. And even in this issue, he does something else that irks me, is that he'll explain something scientific and he'll use one of the characters to say, "Oh yeah, I know what that is." And then it's like, well, actually the layman thinks it's this, but here's the actual explanation. And he goes on to do that song and dance every time too, which annoys me. But anyway, this is sort of getting at the crux of why this Ryan North series is not hitting with me. I don't want a science lesson every issue. But I'm going to give you a quick rundown of the science lesson. He's basically using this app to influence things, have people do work for him in the real world to set his, for him to make money. He's sort of like, think tech billionaire like Elon Musk or whoever. But he actually, the way that Ryan North writes this guy, he actually has like a roguish charm about him. You think he's funny. He is interesting, but he's ultimately manipulating people, for his own means. Fantastic Four doesn't like that. And then you'll notice that if you kind of can follow the visuals here, the Fantastic Four mentions, hey, what exactly is Metamind doing at the Baxter Building site, building this thing? And he's like, well, wait a minute, I didn't tell it to do that. Guess what? AI has taken over, and it's acting. So the developer here, Dan Passy, needs Reed's help to shut down Metamind because it's gone too far. It's doing things on its own, and he can't figure out how to fix it. So he asks Reed to help him. Reed agrees. Basically, Reed and Johnny sort of lie because they say they're going to help him, but basically they destroy Metamind. They destroy all the computer equipment. That's about it. They go on to outwit Passy, going back to my dialogue here, and they destroy the Metamind program, and they go back to the site and clear out the junk that the workers have built there, and do a countdown for the reemergence finally of the Baxter Building. But guess what?
What?
No Baxter Building. So,
Okay.
the year plus build up, which I've said, I'm going to wait. I'm at least going to hang in there till the Baxter Building comes back, see how they pull that off. We finally get to that point, and we get another swerve.
We're still waiting.
And so here's the thing, though. I've said before, these Fantastic Four books, either they fall into the category of a science lesson or a sort of diluted Twilight Zone episode. Okay. So I had all this written down. Gonna do my review for Fantastic 14. Guess what I read last night?
15
or 15, correct.
Oh.
And you know what? It wasn't bad.
Oh, geez.
I'm not going to do a review of it. I didn't have time to write anything up or get pictures of it, but it falls into the more Twilight Zone-y camp. And it was actually not half bad. We're still, spoiler, this book's, it's probably 4 or 5 months old at this point because I got a little bit behind. The Baxter Building does come back, just so everyone knows.
Just in time.
In number 15. So the Baxter Building comes back, and a little bit of hope for Ryan North for me comes back too.
Okay.
But we'll see. It's been a roller coaster ride with this series, and it's I still don't get it because I think to myself, am I the crazy one here? And I go and look at reviews after I read it to see if I'm totally off base, and I'd say 80% of the reviews out there are positive. They like this series, and I just do not get it. But I will say, finally, I saw somebody commenting along the same lines as me in a couple of different reviews where they say, about the half-butt science lesson forced upon you. Let's get to the action. Let's get to the adventuring of the Fantastic Four. And now I also, I was glad to see validation of my. I don't know if you remember that one final splash page of whatever issue it was, where the thing looked utterly ridiculous,
Yeah.
And somebody else had the same comment, because they commented on Ivan Fiorelli's art here, saying, at least Ben is drawn semi-decently, see issues, blah, 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 to see what I'm talking about. So, I don't know. The art is competent. This issue if you want to sit through a tech demonstration for 8 pages, sure, this might be up your alley. But this issue of Fantastic Four 14 is a forget it. But like I said, 15, maybe a mild get it. So maybe we're finally literally turning the page and getting to something a little bit more interesting on Ryan North's Fantastic Four, but we shall see.
So the answer is no, you haven't quite given up on it yet. Got it. Yeah, 8 pages of dialogue and explaining something in any comic is like a bit too much, in my opinion.
Yeah, a good editor would say, "This is a comic book." No,
reduce this to 4. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I need you to say all this in 1 page.
Yeah,
that was so dialogue heavy. What you showed, it's like I would turn that page, and if I, a lot of times I'm cramming a book in between tasks. It's like, let me hurry up and read this book. I would turn the page and be like, no, I'm not reading.
Yeah.
Yeah. There some writers, I have to say, are good at it. I can do it with Jonathan Hickman. He can go on for dialogue for pages, and I'm interested. Yeah. Bendis is often, they talk about he's too dialogue heavy, but I've liked Bendis in the past. I have no problem with a lot of dialogue heavy books from him, but this is just something that's it doesn't grab you like other writers do, especially when they try to force, a science lesson down your throat on top of it. It just seems, it's like you're in 6th grade reading a pamphlet, that has cartoons in it, basically what it comes down to, about trying to explain things. So, yeah.
All right. Well, I'll definitely be passing on Fantastic Four.
Yeah. Like you said, I love the covers though. So yeah, I'll still be grabbing them for covers and then offering them to Xcellar buyers. All right. So on to me. I finished my journey with Predator versus Wolverine. And this is a 4-issue miniseries by Benjamin Piercy and Ken Lashley. And quick recap. Issue 1 takes place in kind of the beginnings of us meeting or knowing Wolverine's history in Canada, in the backwoods of Canada. He's just Logan. He's not Wolverine yet. And it's the first time he meets up and starts fighting Predator. And what I said is cool about this book is it kind of, the first couple pages of every issue kind of takes place in modern day when they're fighting. And then the rest of the book kind of flashes back to the miscellaneous times in history that Wolverine and Predator have apparently, we didn't know till now, been fighting regularly. And they explain that in this too, which I've said often that, all I need is a little explanation, even if it's a one-liner explanation to make sense of stuff. And they remind you in every issue of this series that, his memory is lost for one reason or another. But that was issue 1. Issue 2, we got some, when Wolverine was Sabretooth and he was on a mercenary team. We all are familiar with some Wolverine history there. And that mercenary team comes across some few predators, and of course wins there. Then issue 3 is time framed in the Weapon X time frame of Wolverine's history, and Predator thought that would be an ideal time while Wolverine is, going through what he's going through to take him out. Of course, he didn't accomplish it, and Wolverine wins there as well. So then that brings us to issue 4, and my first beef with issue 4 is that I was a little excited by the final panel of issue 3 that teased issue 4 kind of being the time frame when Wolverine was in Japan, which is one of my favorite Wolverine timelines, and he's with his Japanese master. And the final page is those two turning around and seeing the Predator, and his master literally says to him, Wolverine, or Logan, we're not master and student today. we need to fight together. And it's just this kind of awesome posing, kind of getting ready to fight a moment. And literally they take a crap on that in the first 3 pages of this book. Literally Wolverine and Predator are fighting each other, and his master's literally making comments in the background. Oh, I can't help you here, Wolverine. You need to figure this out on your own. If I help you, it's kind of like a parent doing their kid's homework. You need to figure out how to beat this guy on your own. And, you know, if you die, you die, whatever. It's like, it was just an immediate stark contrast to what they ended issue 3 and started issue 4 with, which if all they had to do was not end issue 3 there, and I wouldn't even notice, it was a fine narrative, you know? And then this book, to wrap it up, kind of gets back, it kind of jumps in multiple timelines. So it starts with him in Japan. Then it kind of flashes back to kind of an 80s, 90s X-Men time frame. He's actually at the school for gifted children, and he's attacked there, and he has this moment of, man, everywhere I go, people are getting hurt because of me. And then it kind of gives this, it spends like, it's only like 1 or 2 pages where it spends this moment of reflection of how, and we've experienced this many times with Wolverine and all of his stories over the years. You know, he's torn whether he wants to let himself become close to people because it always seems to end bad for him or whatever, you know. And they take a couple pages to point out how Wolverine is kind of made a mistake letting himself get close to people. And at the time these pages are happening, it's with the X-Men. And he's like, everyone suffers around me. And then the Predator's getting ready to take him out. And then, of course, Colossus and Kitty Pryde and Nightcrawler come out and they help him beat the Predator. And then he has this reflective moment of, but actually maybe that's not a weakness of mine. It's my benefit, my friends, you know, or something. It's like this kind of, it didn't quite seem to fit moment in this story. And then to wrap up issue 4, we're back in modern times where he's intentionally gone kind of to an isolated area to bait Predator to fight him in a safe area where no one else will get hurt. And it's interesting, but I wouldn't say good, because they have this thing where and this is right out of the page of the original Predator movie, where Arnold has to hide himself from how do you hide himself from the heat vision of the Predators? Anyone remember?
Yeah, get in the mud.
Yeah, it was in the mud.
Yeah, so Wolverine kind of plasters himself with mud to hide from the heat signature of the Predator. So that was kind of okay, whatever. And then the way this ends is I'm going to call it a loss, even though he kind of comes out on top because he's Wolverine. But again, what happens at the end of every Predator movie when they ultimately lose? What do? Anybody?
Self-destruct.
Exactly. So as soon as Wolverine's got the upper hand on Predator and he's convinced he's going to lose, he whips out his little arm and beep, 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 you know, doing the activating the self-destruct nuke or whatever. And Wolverine does nothing about it. He literally's got his claws in him and he just kind of chills there. So the Predator literally explodes, goes off like a nuclear bomb, just like in any other Predator story. And then it actually talks like it's like weeks later that Wolverine comes out of it all healed. So I don't know, is that a loss or a win? Technically it's a win because Wolverine obviously can heal and come out of it alive, but you know,
he forced Predator to quit. He's like, Predator just flips the board game off the table and flips the table and walks away.
You're right.
It's not fair, self-destruct.
Quitters. That sounds like an awesome ending to me. It was
definitely interesting. Honestly, what I feel like is this should have gone 6 issues. That's what I was thinking. I feel like they crammed kind of ending this, wrapping it up in 4, you know? The way everything was flowing with 1 through 3, I loved, and I liked this one, but it was definitely ironically enough, how I feel about finales. It was my least favorite issue of the 4. But it's not horrible. I'd still say it's definitely a get it for Predator and or Wolverine fans. But for, somebody trying to get into reading comics, this one's kind of a little bit subpar in my opinion. So I'd give it a, forget it for anyone that isn't truly in love with Predator Wolverine. It just doesn't flow right. It's all over the place. And there's a couple of things that are hokey about it in general. So, but it's a get it for Predator Wolverine fans. And I'm definitely going to keep mine. And overall, I'd say I enjoyed the series. It's just a little bit of a letdown. I talk about, like I said, about finales all the time. So that's it for me. Predator versus Wolverine number 4.
You may have even said it today, Kevin, and I missed it. But is it the same Predator that kept coming back, or
yeah?
Okay.
Well, in Predator 2, there were multiple Predators, but there is this one Predator that's got this animosity towards him. You know?
Gotcha.
Yeah. All right, Michael. So you didn't read anything besides philosophy this week, then, right? So that's it.
Yeah.
You got any cool philosophical one-liner quotes you can give us from what you've learned?
Nothing is sweeter than no sweeter is anger than the greatest honey. I forget. I'm just pulling straws.
Nice try, though.
All I can tell is like what I can give a review, because so what we've read so far was Rhetoric by Aristotle, and what was it? Socrates, the Republic, and it kind of, and as we were discussing things earlier, I started to like put together that with storytelling, mind you, what it really comes down to is like we're trying to, as like say we're using the Wolverine versus Predator. It is somebody telling a story, trying to state their case, which is rhetoric. They're telling the story, and they're going to convince you about like, hey, this is the world, this is what's happening, and it is you as the judge if you like it or not, or believe what's going down.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's an interesting
whatever philosophies, or how Patrick was talking about. It's like, man, I don't want a science lesson crammed into my action comics. I'm saying it's fine to have the science, but geez, you're just doing too much. But then that goes down to like the philosophy of like how to build your world, or how to tell the stories, stuff like that. Okay.
That is an interesting take applying to philosophy. That's good. Yeah, definitely. All right, that'll do it for get it and forget it, though. Rolling right along, though, Patrick. Are you in?
Yep, I'm ready to go.
All right.
I'm gonna switch over.
Oh yeah, sorry. Actually, just go ahead and switch it over. Yep.
Okay. Not a whole lot this week, which is good considering what we have packed into the show. So first off, we're going to do a little bit of housekeeping. This is that Superior Iron Man that was lost last week, and you can kind of see what I was talking about. It's not a very interesting figure, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You do get the swappable heads. At least there's something, but
almost looks like a prototype or whatever. Those completely white plain action figures.
Yeah.
What are those called? What are those called?
Like a prototype. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I just don't think it translates, because in the books, the blue shows up quite a bit more. It comes across in the coloring. a bit more than it does on this figure. And this could just be, maybe you see it in person, it's different. But just wanted to go back to that and show it real quick because we had the Marvel Legends fan stream last week. Well, this week we had the G.I. Joe fan stream. So we got a few new G.I. Joe products. First up is Doc. I'm sure you remember him from the cartoon. Here he is in his classified form. And all these singular figures are the typical $25 retail 6-inch figure. Next, we've got a Dreadnought. This is Torch. We've got Jinx. And let's do a 2-pack. We have Tiger Force, Roadblock, and Tripwire. I don't know if there's one picture missing, so give me 1 second. I'm going to bring it up because it's probably the coolest of the week. You want to discuss any G.I. Joes? Well, I do that real quickly.
These are all awesome. I love them all. So cool.
This is my favorite. This is my favorite one, though. This is a deluxe pack. This is $45. And this is another Dreadnought who I'm not familiar with. His name is Nagahide. And he comes with his pets, Pork Belly and Yabo.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's cool.
I don't know. I think back when I was reading, there was only 3 Dreadnoughts, and then I don't know where this guy came from, but he's pretty cool. I tried to limit the pictures, but they did some really cool. They have a guy on their G.I. Joe team who does really cool staging pics for the figures, and he had the Yabo riding on the pig's back and up on the Dreadnought's shoulder. He just does a phenomenal job. But yeah, I like this pack. The Tiger Force, I believe this is exclusive to Target, and it is a $55 2-pack because it comes with some extra accessories, I suppose. All right, leaving G.I. Joe. Yeah.
I know my mic's off right now, so if I sound funky, sorry about it. But anyway, we've talked a bunch of times about how, back in the day when you got a 2-pack, it always meant, or not always, but it seemed to more times than not mean you were getting a deal. They put 2 $25 figures together in a 2-pack and then charge you $45. So you save $5 for buying 2, right?
Right. Yes.
That doesn't seem to be the case anymore, right? It's basically just the charge of 2 figures in a pack, and sometimes it's even a couple bucks more because it's got a little extra thing in there, right?
Yeah, I think that's their strategy. They say, well, we're adding this extra value to the 2-pack, so we're either going to charge you the same or even perhaps more
right
than 2 individual figures. Yep.
So my thing with that is, man, that doesn't seem like a very good marketing strategy, because what if I just wanted one of these dudes, And what if I only got $25 in my action figure budget this week,
Right.
The only way to justify that in my mind, and if anyone higher up are listening to this, you sell them as 2 separate pieces, but the double pack comes with the additional parts or accessories.
How is that, Pat? Do they do that? Do they usually with dual packs or more or whatever? Do they also sell them singularly? This kind of goes to what Mike was saying with the Jada metal figs, that they should have both, like they used to with metal figs, like Mike used to like, right?
Yeah, and I think you see both happening. It just depends on the company, the toy line, whatever. And here, both, to be fair, both of these figures, Roadblock and Tripwire, have been released before. This is their Tiger Force versions, and so they're bundling them together, giving him a new deco and extra accessories. So, if you are, not a completist, you probably already have these figures, and you could probably pass on the Tiger Force. But so that there's a little bit of marketing going into that too, I suppose.
Yeah, I just want the Roadblock in his Tiger Force, though. I can't get that.
Well, you can buy the 2-pack. Yeah, you buy the 2-pack and sell off the tripwire and the extra junk that you don't want.
I was just getting ready to say, except in the aftermarket, which would probably be more expensive singularly at that point.
Yeah,
Yeah. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
that's all right. We'll jump over to Todd. He had some more offerings this week. We'll do DC Multiverse first. Here is Detective Comics 27 Batman, first appearance Batman. We had the first appearance Superman a few weeks ago, if you remember.
Yeah.
And I've actually seen him show up on. I saw him at Target recently with a Superman figure. Now here we have the first appearance Batman with his purple gloves.
He had purple gloves in his first appearance.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Well, just because they're in purple gloves on an action figure doesn't mean that you can assume that that's the way it looks in a comic.
Yeah, it comes with the collector's card of the cover, and if you saw, I again, sorry, I was limiting my picks, but if you see the card, it shows the cover of Detective 27 there, and you can see his purple gloves on.
I've never noticed that.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Me neither. I'm glad I'm not alone. Yeah.
Another Batman. This is Nightfall Batman from the Bane storyline. He looks like a fine, a classic looking Batman of that era. He looks, fine. He looks really good,
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that one. I'll do a Kelly Jones Batman from.
I have a complaint for Todd.
Another one.
Lay it on us.
I was noting this with all my Batmans that bottom, the title, so many Batman, the bottom title there below DC Multiverse, it just says Batman. Why it should say some kind of other definer to whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. You're
Like
100% correct.
Yeah.
Nightfall Batman.
Right.
Yeah, they call him Nightfall Batman, but they don't call him Nightfall Batman on the packaging.
You know why? Because he's just Batman. It's like that scene where he touches the lasso of truth and they give everybody's names, and he's the only one who calls himself Batman.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, it's like this when people ask me what Batman I have, unless I'm remembering what I watched on Collectibles on the Horizon, I don't know what to call these sometimes. I'm like, I got to put it up on this Batman, But anyway, I don't know why he doesn't do that. So, Todd, please, can you please just, for this one, for example, just change the bottom of that. Just say Nightfall Batman.
Well, I hope he doesn't start this week. I hope he goes back to last week so we can label that other one Sassy Batman.
Right.
All right.
Anyway, okay.
Yeah. One last Batman related DC Multiverse figure. And these are $23 retail McFarlane releases. And this is after Nightfall, I suppose. This is Azrael Batman armor. And this one, I don't remember the red armor like this, but I know he's put out different versions of Batman Azrael previously and Azrael himself, but I'm not. Maybe this was something. I don't remember a red version like this.
I'm thinking I'm remembering.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, that's.
Sorry.
Yeah, I think that's when he was just because his mask is different. Just like in the Azrael series, but that's a completely different costume.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
I don't know how cool that one looks either. I don't know this.
I like how it looks in the box, but out of the box feels off to me.
Yeah.
There's a lot of red plastic going on there,
Yeah, too much.
Interesting though. Okay.
And finally, from McFarlane this week, which Johnny were here. I don't know if you saw this, Kevin, but Johnny especially loves Batman 400.
Yeah.
By Bill Sienkiewicz, and we're getting a statue.
Get out!
Oh my gosh!
No, this is the only shot that I think I've seen so far. So you don't have everything on the table here, but I think it's probably in the Batman black and white because it looks black and white.
Yeah.
But sometimes they, as you know, probably they do color versions on down the line. So as of right now, I believe this to be initially in the black and white Batman black and white statue line, and there you have it. Basically, Batman with the smoking skull in front of him.
I need the color. I mean, that's what outside of the artwork, the color on this one. I just love the blue.
Right.
Yeah, I need the color version, but that is sweet.
I don't know.
I know.
I'm still working on liking that cover.
Right? Yeah. You're still working on that.
Yeah. No price yet, Kevin or Karen. Like I said, early information so far. When we get more picks and full solicit, I'll let you guys know.
Can I see the statue again?
Yeah.
I see the facial
grizzled chin.
Yeah.
What's the back of that one look like?
Believe me, Kevin, when I get those pictures, you'll be the first to see them.
Okay, cool.
It's gonna be just a.
Right, it's just gonna be completely flat black, nothing. Yeah.
That is fantastic. I definitely want that one. Wait, don't take her to court. Look at this.
What?
This is a statue.
Mm-hmm. Oh, what's up?
Oh yeah.
She seems equally impressed.
Yeah, she's as impressed as Kevin.
I'm super impressed. I mean, I like it. Where would you put it?
That is not. That is
That's not important.
What? I'm trying to keep the conversation going. Okay.
Can't figure that out after you buy it.
Yeah.
I would hope that you would plan that out before.
No.
No, that's not how this works.
Oh, okay. Okay, then.
How are you going to be able to afford it and where are you going to put it are taboo talk in a collectible.
That's what I do. If I buy something, I think about where I'm going to put it beforehand.
Yeah, my daughters as well. Yeah. So anyway. All right, Mike. Maybe your birthday's coming. We'll see, Mike. Once we get the cost of this bad boy.
Yeah, you're going to have to help me pay for your birthday gift.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, honestly, and getting back to Karen's question, generally the Batman black and white statues aren't super expensive.
That's true.
But we'll see. Because they're not usually big statues. I think they're usually like, 8 to 10 inches, maybe, if I'm
That's what I was
remembering.
going to ask the dimensions on this. Yeah, they're smaller.
Yeah, everything's kind of up in the air, but I was just so excited to get it on. I wanted to show it this week.
Yeah.
I'd probably need 2 because I'm going to have to paint one. Need a blue one.
All right, finally, moving on from McFarlane, we have some. We don't really talk about Playmates very often, but I found this was interesting enough to cover it, and that is the, way back in the '80s, kids. There's a little thing called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and they're doing. Yes, they are turtles in half shell. This is actually before that tagline originated, though. This is figures based on the original sketch.
Oh, that's interesting. I like that. I like this.
Yeah.
Okay, so
It's pretty cool.
here's Kevin Eastman's original, the first turtle, as he dubs it, that he did, way back in, it looks like it says 84. And our friends that we talked about last week so much with the X-Men animated series, Mondo, actually have done a figure of this before in the past, about 10 years ago. They did them in 3 different versions.
That's fantastic.
Oh, yeah, those are cool too. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
I love that sketch. It's so great.
The actual sketch itself.
Well, I mean the sketch figure, the one that
Sketch
looks,
version. Yeah,
The one in the center, the black and white cell shade sketch. Yeah, that one.
I did a Hot Wheels like that.
Yeah, they pulled it off. It looks pretty good. again, like we talked last week, Mondo, very pricey, so these turtles are mass manufacture, mass market, and they're only $12 retail, so much more affordable. You can definitely see a difference, but that's what happens when you mass market smaller figures. So, and they're sold individually, and they each come with a piece of that little base there, and you can put the base together. They call it a base, but it's just like a piece of plastic with a manhole cover.
That's cool. Yeah.
The only other thing is, and this is from the same page out of this catalog. You can see it there beside the turtles there. This is a re-release because they've done this Voltron figure in the past. Playmates has, but they're re-releasing him for the 40th anniversary. You can see the dates. There's your release dates. The turtles will be out in June. The 40th anniversary Voltron will be out in April. You can either buy the lions separately at $20. Black Lion is bigger, so he's $30. Or you can buy the complete Voltron for $100. So there you are getting a little bit of a deal. Buying the whole set at once. I remember when Playmates last released these Voltron figures, and I'm assuming they're the same. Maybe I shouldn't, but I don't think they're going to go back and do new molds and everything. But they went on clearance. I remember them being clearanced out at Target. So I have a couple of them, but I don't have all of them. So maybe I'll keep an eye on this 40th anniversary, and I can actually complete my Voltron.
Nice. Yeah, you gotta have them. You gotta have the complete Voltron.
Yeah. But that's it. Like I said, I wanted to keep it short and sweet, and that's all we have for this week. And I'm switching back over.
What's that head down there? Purple worm, the white glove in there.
Oh, it was just a screen grab from this catalog of new up and coming toys. So I don't even know. Tune in next week. I'll track it down and let you know.
Okay.
I'm just asking because I know somebody's gonna wonder.
Come back next week.
All right, I'll be here.
Okay, hey, do me a favor and fill for me for 1 second. Blah blah blah. Damn, where's it at? Damn.
Oh, I can show real quickly. I want to show something to the audience that I got. I showed you guys earlier in the pre-show.
All right, awesome. Yeah.
So I have this bad boy during the winter break when I went back home, cleaning up the house. I have this. Look at this marble. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, those posters are really nice. Iconic posters for the first 3 Indiana Jones movies.
Yep.
Yeah.
Where'd you say that came from, or can't you say?
This is Drew Struzan, one of the artists who did a plethora of movie posters back in the day, including this original Star Wars, the Indiana Jones trilogies, the Goonies, The Thing,
Shawshank.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like, if there's an amazing poster from that era, there's a good chance that he did it.
Yep.
Yeah. I got that poster when I used to work at an Applebee's before they renovated their space to be modern.
Okay, if that's your story, stick to it.
No, that is how it went down. That is how it went down. And because I worked there, I always got to eyeball what bids were happening. So there was a little bit of insider trading, honestly.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right, that was perfect timing for me. Thank you. Had to find something real quick, and I found it. And so we are ready.
Is it the record button?
Jeez. So
made it an hour and a half before mentioning it. Good job.
Yeah, we did.
Inside jokes are the best.
Yeah, check out Cover Combat Monday night 8 p.m. for the what's going on with that inside joke. Anyway, but we want to know what's going on with Pokemon now. Are you ready, Michael?
Yes, I am.
All right, sweet. Nice. We don't hear that
Alright.
one. We don't hear that one enough yet. I need to get that into my playlist. All right, you're up, Michael. You ready to go?
All right. Well, we kind of alluded to it, kind of sneaked it in, but Pokemon came out in 1996,
Okay.
and earlier this week, as of this stream, it is the 28th anniversary of Pokemon. Pokemon Day happened on the 27th of February, and they're doing a whole bunch of celebrations going on. And one of the things is you can get this card over to the right, this Cerulege, through, say, GameStop or through PokemonCenter.com themselves. Spend about $15 or more, and you'll get this copy of cards. So if you go to like a GameStop or Best Buy, they likely do have a copy. Double check with them. Some stores don't always receive them, but yeah, they're doing that. I don't know why Cerulege for this Pokemon, but we'll take it.
Okay.
Yeah, 28 years. 28 years of Pokemon. My
It's
God.
crazy. Yeah. I actually was aware of this because Whatnot had a bunch of specials going on for Pokemon Day, and they actually helped out the sellers to kind of push Pokemon on Pokemon Day. So that was a fun show. So that's cool. Yeah, definitely. All right.
Oh, wait, backtracking. So during Pokemon Day, if any of you are familiar with the Pokemon Legends series, the one where they went back in time and its own open world game experience where you're actually in the middle of the fray with wild Pokemon, they just announced in their direct their next game or installment of the Legends series, Pokemon Legends ZA, which takes place in the Kalos region. That was Generation 6. And that was roughly 10 years ago, honestly. And so we're finally going back to the region of Kalos. But this one, we don't know many details about it. They only just played a little video reel and we just ate it up. And what it is, I guess, like a city builder kind of thing. Again, I don't know many details. We'll figure this out as time goes on or when they decide to give out more information. But the big thing about it is that this comes out not this year, but next year in 2025, which is kind of different because we've always get a Pokemon game every year as of recently. And so I think this is like maybe a good sign that they're slowing down production and trying to up quality, because I know that was a big issue amongst avid Pokemon fans, even myself included, that hey, these are great as Pokemon games, but as a game itself, they're kind of lacking in visual quality, storytelling quality, or just what we know of to be just a good game for that matter. I'll still enjoy Pokemon regardless. I'm a sucker. They can take my money, but yeah.
Yeah, you gotta love when they do that. If they're stretching it out and giving you better quality, you love that, because you ain't got to. I mean, well, I don't know about you personally, Michael, but it sounds like, especially with schooling and everything, for it, you don't have time to finish every game before the next one comes out if they come out every year anyway. At least that's how I am.
Mm-hmm. But also, like, give room to breathe, to enjoy the current game that you're in at this moment.
Yeah.
The other part would be, oh wait, I lost my train of thought. But no, yeah, just give it room to breathe. And what's not to say that there is going to be some other Pokemon game coming up during the fall holiday, Christmas time. So there might be something get turned out, but it's not going to be one of their mainline games. It's probably going to be like, say, maybe some other kind of spin-off or something really small. There was a lot of mobile app presentations and updates during the Pokemon Day Direct, including this Legends post. So there's likely going to be something, or probably not. And hopefully, with the time that they put in, they have a whole year at least on their schedule. And so I'm certain they've already been working on it in the background when we got into Scarlet and Violet. And so it's not just going to be churned out and we're just going to get possibly the same slop that we've always been getting. I'm not
Yeah.
going to say like slop being bad, but just more so like it's kind of like this. It just felt lacking
Gotcha.
as of recently. But yeah, so here's hoping. This is going to be kind of cool going back to this generation because there's a bunch of people who have yet to experience this region
Yeah.
and the Pokemon that are in that game. So that'll be interesting. And I think this is going to be it's going to be a weird take as well because this game is going to be taking place exclusively within an entire city block, like entire city itself, not the entire region. It's not like in the Legends Arceus where you have the entire continent to explore, but this one it's more concentrated into one singular location. So like, sounds weird, but I'm going to trust that they'll be able to pull it off.
Got it.
I wonder, Michael, if maybe it just isn't up to running on the current Switch and they're holding it off until the new Switch comes out.
Oh yeah, yeah. I have been hearing about that. The Switch 2, as some people would dub it. So maybe the Switch 2 got pushed back into 2025, and so that messes with the schedule. So it's like if they want to sell a console, they need a sellable game to go along with it.
Right.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Can't afford a
Speaking
Switch 2 yet. 2025.
I'm gonna be happy when Switch 2s come out because then Switch 1 prices will drop.
That's true.
yes,
Yeah.
that would be the day. Too late. I already have mine. All right. Well, enough on that one. The next subject is if y'all remember a while ago, the whole Vincent Van Gogh fiasco.
Yeah.
Well, as I predicted or as I explained, cards are being printed out and the prices are crashing.
Mhm.
And here's a juicy tidbit about it. Some members of the museum staff have been fired for withholding cards and reselling them, or whatever special treatments that were going on that they were doing with
Wow.
other customers. So that was been brought to light. Pretty
Wow.
interesting.
Jeez,
And this
that's-
was back in early February when all this was mostly bringing about over in Europe. Other game stores, shops, they've been printing out this card and handing them out to be promotionals for the customers there. We still don't get this card over here in the States, but looking at this graph and as time goes on, if you wanted to get your card, you can get it now or just wait just a little bit longer. I would say give it like 2 months. Disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor,
Right.
but you can wait. You probably wait just a little bit longer, and the price of this card will go down even more. To at this moment, it is probably like $60 for the card. Earlier last year, it was peaking $200 just for this cardboard rectangle.
Yep. Sounds like sound advice.
All right.
People got
And then-
fired over it. That's just crazy that you would risk your job for. I guess people risk their jobs.
Well,
It's
they
like
think
saying-
they hit the money bags. They thought they'd be able to hoard them, and the price, like Michael predicted, they didn't know they'd go down. They just thought they'd go up, and they could make bank. But
yeah, so that was a whole mess during that time. But
they thought they were gonna
other
hit the
things that
jackpot.
I
Thanks,
included,
Karen.
another thing that was included was like some of the methods that I would say we're going to use the term scalpers, like the scalpers would use. Is that what was interesting? I didn't realize this, or I didn't pay much heed on it. Was that kids can get into the museum for free, while adults had to pay. So the scalpers, they would likely pay the kids to go in, pick up the card, and then buy it off and get it from them.
Oh
Jeez.
man, corrupting
So
the
that
youth.
was some of the tales that happened. That was like, that's interesting. Like, that's smart, but at the same time, that's scummy. But that's so smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If there's money to be made, people will find ways to do it.
Yep.
Yeah, they will. Speaking of money, I don't have a slide for this, but eBay published a stat for 2023 sales, like related to Pokemon. And let's see, in 2023, eBay users search for Pokemon items more than 400 times a minute globally on average. And
Jeez.
yeah, and last year, the most searched Pokemon character, can anybody guess it? There's actually like
Charizard.
3 on the list. Yep, you got one.
Pikachu's got to be up there. No?
No, nobody?
Bulb-
All right.
Bulbasaur.
Almost.
Ratatouille.
It's,
Oh, it's not Pokemon.
Pikachu and Mew. Those are like the top 3 that were searched. And then other things like the most expensive card that was purchased through eBay was a PSA 10 Gem Mint Charizard base set, first edition, shadowless Pokemon cards. The title itself going for $217,000.
Oh my god.
Wild. Yeah. It's pretty interesting though, like just
It
that
is.
they actually make this announcement through about eBay.
Yeah.
And granted, like this is just eBay sales. This does not include any other third parties or other tertiary or secondary markets that are out there that are also doing sales. Like for example, even Whatnot. I don't know how they work, but like just anywhere else. So they might have their own numbers or difference. And again, this is just eBay.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like very interesting. Like the metrics there.
Yeah. Definitely.
It's just wow, Pokemon cards are so expensive. My God.
Like
It's why. Anyway,
you said, a little piece of cardboard triangle.
yeah, everyone's getting something from around the world.
Rectangle.
All right. So up next, we have our next Pokemon set, Temporal Forces. That will be coming out shortly, March 22nd. Get ready for that. We just almost finished with Aldean Fates.
Let me ask you a question, Michael.
Yeah.
Why are all these titled Scarlet and Violet and blank, the subtext? Why is Scarlet and Violet carried over? I noticed like the last half a dozen sets are all Scarlet and Violet with a subtitle, Temporal Forces. Why is that?
So they do this in conjunction with, say, the generation that we are in, or like say the game itself. And so all the cards tie into this block.
Oh.
Because in the past there's the Sword and Shield, and then before that we had all of Sun and Moon, and then before that we had all of XY, then Black and White, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, then Platinum. Like all of them are in relations. Like, hey, this is the generation that we are at, and so they keep it all together in its own bubble.
How many more in Scarlet and Violet are there? Do you know?
I don't know, but we can guesstimate because there's typically 4 mainline sets a year, and we are already in we've heard Scarlet and Violet, Paldea Evolved, then we had Obsidian Flames, and then we have Paradox Rift. So that's 4 for 2023, and so we can assume 4 more for this year. Not including any of these little subsets, like there's the Paldean Fates or any like the 151. Like even weirdly enough, even though 151 is supposed to be Gen 1, that's still labeled as Scarlet and Violet, but they just do that for the sake of like keeping it together, saying, hey, during this time period of the Scarlet and Violet era of the trading card game, we're gonna have the main titles be within this subset.
Is 151 out? I haven't even seen that out yet.
Yeah, 151 has been out.
It has? I haven't even seen it anywhere.
Yeah, because it's all been bought up.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, Temporal Forces. We're getting more of the past and future mechanics and X going in with the prehistoric Pokemon and then the futuristic ones.
Cool. Cool.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to this set. This is going to be a very pivotal, the word, important set.
Yeah. Right.
As far as player wise in the competitive sphere, but also collectibles. The cards so far are gorgeous. Like, look at these. I wish there
Wow.
was an altar for Gengar, but I just had to like toss in the OG that they're placing in the game. But like, I love these three on the left. Like, look at this. This is an Entei. If any of you remember the old legendary beast, this is a Suicune, but it's actually called Walking Wake. That's like the Jurassic Park version of the dog that we know.
Yeah. Yeah, these aren't your old school Pokemon. They're awesome.
And then the Iron Crown is like the Terminator minus the trying to come kill you thing.
Yeah, the only complaint I've had with these, because obviously these are gorgeous. Like when I try to read these, sometimes they seem harder to read. Like the text, blends in so much with the art in the back now. It seems like with more modern pictures. Before they just have the picture at the top and at the bottom, it would just be block with the text in there. Now, like, so, I don't know, are all the cards like this now where the text is actually written over the pictures, or are there some that are still like that where they have the picture at the top and then the text in the bottom separated?
They still do it the old fashioned way, because these are just alternate artworks. They've been doing that a lot in the past couple of years, where these are just the luxury pieces. You don't really, so as like a competitor myself, like you don't need these luxury cardboard rectangles. But
I'm dumb. The Gengar. There's one right there. I'm dumb.
Yeah, the Gengar. They still do this. So these three on the left, the Gouging Fire, Walking Wake, Iron Crown, like these guys, I'm just showing you their beautified versions. They're
okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
okay,
they do have normal versions, just like the Gengar on the right.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah, they are.
I keep Tyler obviously is my Pokemon connection for almost his entire life, and we keep, especially as adults now, we keep going back and forth to being into Pokemon and then being out of Pokemon. And every time we get out of it, we want to get back into it, and we regret we ever got out of it. Because Pokemon are awesome. They really are. These are great.
Yeah, it's still impressive me to the day, like how they are able to just churn these things out and just make masterpiece after masterpiece.
Yep.
And then look forward to this set. It's cards that aren't going to be so interesting to most non-competitive players, but they are reintroducing a mechanic called Ace-Specs, and I'm gonna leave that up to y'all to discover. It's they're very noticeable when you see them. They're very off the beaten path as far as card designs go.
Would you say it was 8 specs?
Ace-Specs.
Ace-Specs. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So that's Temporal Forces. Again, that's going to be dropping on the 22nd. Put in pre-orders. Go to your local game store. If you got one near you, you can find orders online as well. You can place them if you're interested in getting any of this set. Pre-releases should be happening as well, which are the events where you get to play with the cards before they're officially out onto the market at your game stores. Other than that, this is going to be this is just going to be a fun set to get my hands on personally.
Nice.
So next, we have the 2023 World Championship decks have been released. They actually released yesterday as of this stream.
So these are actually just reprints of the decks that actually won the championships.
Yes.
That's awesome.
So
that's
a
great idea.
Yeah. It is. It's a great way to really have is like having power in your hands, but at the same time, like you can't actually go to an official tournament with any of these cards, but these are just great time capsules to say like this is what was good or what was like the best, the pinnacle of that time.
Are those
And then
pins? Are
out
those
of
Pikachu
collectors-
pins?
Oh yeah, they come with pins.
Yeah.
A little cardboard deck box. They don't really last very long. It just
Yeah, those
costs
suck.
a regular
Yeah.
deck box.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's just it's a 1-to-1 reprint of the champions decks.
That's
And
great.
what's included would be we have Van Kelly, who got first place in the Masters division, toward Rekliv, second place in the Masters division, and then we have first place for juniors and seniors being Gabriel Fernandez and Xiaotong Tian.
That's great.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? I mean, not just winning and being the champion, and then they go and they make your deck.
Yeah, right. That'd be so awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, they've been doing this since
Double
2000
bonus.
Since
so
when?
great. They've been doing this since like what 2004, 2006.
Oh wow.
When World started, they've been printing these out every year outside of the Void Century.
Okay.
The Void period. When
Yeah.
we had COVID and all that.
Yeah.
Because there was no Worlds in 2022 and 2021.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Tord Rexlev sounds like a Star Wars character.
It does.
Oh man, now that you say that, yeah. He's actually revered as one of the best Pokemon players because he has crowning championships across like internationals and regionals. He's won every international, not like every, but he has the title of one of each of the internationals, like the European internationals. He has a North American international championship title. He has the South Asia or international title. He has the South American international title. He's got all of them. But Worlds is the only one that's eluding him. So it's like it's wild. But yeah, you can get these up at your retailer. They're $19.99 MSRP. Some places might sell them like a little bit higher, a little bit lower. I'm not certain, but
That doesn't sound bad though. Sounds
Yeah.
like a pretty good price. Yeah.
$20 for a world championship level deck to play with.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, it's good. It's a good deck.
Right.
It's a good deck for a reason. All right, so going on next this is the last thing I have. The Wand Company, they are pushing a new line that they have. So now they're starting to miniaturize them, and they're pretty much half the price of their normal counterparts. And it's like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's pretty much about it.
Man, the marketing of these Pokeballs, it's just so crazy. I've even fallen into it. I've got all the Pokeball and plush for them. Yeah. I can't afford the actual legit material, you know.
Yeah, those things go for 100 or 110, depending on which ones. I still haven't gotten my luxury ball yet because at the last time that I was here, I was talking about it.
Yeah,
but they were out of stock. But they recently restocked on them a couple weeks ago, but I haven't picked them up yet.
Yeah.
We should get, each of us should get those champion decks
and play against each other.
And then play against each other.
Agreed. I'm in. Pat,
you're gonna have a rough time because two of those decks are very technical. But you know what? I believe in you. Y'all could definitely figure it out. It's actually not that difficult. But actually, no, one of them is actually very tricky to really grasp your hands around. I even struggle with it.
Okay. Well, we could give it a shot.
So that's what's going on with Pokemon.
Awesome.
Nice.
That was excellent again, Michael. Thank you so much for doing that for us. We really appreciate when you can stop by.
Yeah,
it's great.
Appreciate y'all having me.
Yeah. All right, you ready to wrap this up? Oh, Mike, you're first, so I hope you took notes.
Oh, I didn't. I have
I'm
So that's
sorry,
what I was
Mike. That
gonna
wasn't
do.
intent. That wasn't
I was
intent.
talking the whole time. That's
What were you
funny.
gonna say? What were you gonna say?
You get me every time. Well, I get myself. I just forget we have these fun little movies in front of every segment.
Right.
Yeah, I've only got a couple things here, but now, I mean, Patrick pointed out that Batman 400 is probably in the black and white size. Those are very doable for me financially. I'm gonna get that one. I'm gonna
Nice.
get it. I just love it. So
Yeah.
it's my recap.
Well, yeah, we learned that you shouldn't buy egg salad sandwiches or Pokemon cards at a gas station.
Right. Michael, you got one?
I got one. Go watch Paramount's Master Griefs, Halo.
Right. But on that same note, you know, if you're in for an interesting story but bad acting and directing, you check out True Detective season 4. Unless you're Karen, or I'm sure Karen's not alone. You know, you might dig it. Who knows? See for yourself. Mike?
Does Karen have one?
Oh yeah, Karen's got one today.
Yeah.
Predator's a sore loser. Yeah, he is.
Oh,
Great. I gotta cross that one off.
Well, yeah, Patrick, I should have led with this one, but I'll switch it up a little bit. Don't buy gas station Pokemon cards or Ryan North Fantastic Four comics, but you can always trust the egg salad sandwich.
All right.
We also found out that you shouldn't risk your cushy museum job to sell Pokemon on the black market.
Yeah.
Right. Michael?
Well, happy birthday, Pokemon. It's
Nice.
that. Yes.
It's nice whenever they make a TV series or a movie after an animated and they do a good job finally. See Avatar: The Last Airbender on Netflix.
I gotta cross that one off too. y'all are just geniuses. You're taking some of my
Karen's got one. Fantastic Four is not so fantastic. Yep, Karen, you're right.
Yeah, but stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Maybe. Yeah, we'll get to see.
I want to be the first to congratulate Patrick on winning Profits this week. He picked all three, picked 3 cars correctly.
Speaking of sorry, Pat, go.
All right. No, I really don't have anything else. The only thing I was going to comment was if you would indulge me, Kevin, and put us all back over to the side real quick.
Okay.
Every time I glance up, I think there's a Jawa coming after Mike.
Oh.
I see it. You're I think I see it.
Yeah, what is that right behind you over your left shoulder, Mike?
It's a French flag.
It's Beethoven.
No. You're correct. It is Beethoven.
Shoot, I forgot what that's exactly called.
Oh, when it's cut off like that?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's like
yeah.
eyes just looking at us
Yeah.
That's funny.
with its
It's
hood
funny.
on.
When you're rewatching the show
That's
later, you'll
traps.
be able to see what he means more vividly. Yeah.
I'll check it out.
You
That's
got anything
cool.
else, Michael?
Dr. Doom in a dinosaur laser fight.
Yeah. Would you call him Dr. Doomasaur? Mike?
No, Doomasaur.
Yeah,
Yeah, Doomasaur.
Doomasaur. Yeah. And what was I just getting ready to say when I started to interrupt you, Pat? Hang on, I've already forgot it already. Okay, that'll do it then. Unless you guys, Karen, you got another one? Yep. Michael knows his Pokemon. He does. Yep.
Oh, I know my Pokemon so much. Oh, I'm so excited about this. I'm going to show it off. So I've been a judge for so long. They recently reopened the judge store, which is like a place where if you participate and staff enough events, you get rewarded. And I
Okay.
picked this bad boy up. It's a play mat with all of the Generation 4 Pokemon. I love this thing so much.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
So I'm
Very
gonna be
nice.
flexing on people when I can.
Does it have special marking on it that you can only get that as a judge too?
You can only get this as a judge in general. You have to be a judge to order this.
Oh, there isn't anywhere else you can get it. So okay.
The only way to get it is from another judge who's selling it on the secondary market.
Right, gotcha. I didn't know, like
That's
Magic
cool,
would do that when I got a few of those where they'd have in the bottom corner, judges, blah blah blah, whatever.
They
So those
do, they do kind of say that it has the this little play Pokemon.
are
It's kind of like their
Mhm.
official sanction judge whatever logo, at least one of them. But yeah, so like I'm very happy about that. It came
Very
in the mail yesterday in the pouring rain. I was so scared.
well, it's very cool. All right, let's see if we can wrap this up quick. All right, here we go. Please like, subscribe, and hit that bell to get notified of everything we post. Also, comment your thoughts, questions, and suggestions below. We'd love to see those. Subscribe to Comics and Collectibles in the Crawl Space on Spotify for podcasters or many other podcast providers, and listen to the edited podcast of this live stream on Spotify. That'll be posted no later than Tuesday. I'm going to say it again, that it's a different experience in a podcast form. So definitely check it out. I listen to it again every week, multiple times. And it's not just because I'm on it. Follow Xcellar Comics on Facebook, Instagram, and/or X, aka Twitter, and follow Xcellar_comics on TikTok and whatnot. Watch our shows on the Whatnot app. You can bookmark one of our shows right now to get notified when all of the ridiculous deals will be offered. We've got a Pokemon show scheduled for next week already, a toy show, and the comic show on Friday, which Mike has been a part of for a few Fridays now. It's a lot of fun, and I think anybody on the show will see that. We've got a great game going on, aside from just great deals on comics. So check us out on the Whatnot app. Check out what we have to offer on eBay as well at Xcellar_comics. And in our shop at Xcellarcomics.com, you can find that shop tab at the top of the homepage. And then you can help support the show and everything we do and help us get better microphones and laptops through Patreon at patreon.com/XcellarComics. Seriously, though, we could use that there. We'd really be thankful. Watch Cover Combat 8, Round 1B, Xcellar Family Edition, this coming Monday, March 4th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if I'm not mistaken, Mike, Pat, you can remind me, that's going to be a live show, right? I mean, we usually do pre-recorded, but that's live this week, I think, right?
Yeah, it's looking that way.
Awesome.
Yeah, so that'll be a live show. And then, of course, watch our next live stream on YouTube or Facebook next Saturday, March 9th at 9:30 a.m.-ish Eastern Standard Time. Then lastly, keep up with everything Xcellar has planned with the newly added Karen's Calendar, both of those with a K, to be clever. That's with a C, though. That's a feature that's located at the top of our homepage at XcellarComics.com as well. Because we do a lot of stuff, Michael. You need a place to go track everything we're doing, right?
Yeah, that's very helpful.
And you were on the calendar as of like last month that you were coming this week. So everybody knew you were coming too. Probably all the views we've got so far because you're here, Michael. We appreciate it. Everybody loves Pokemon. Even the people that aren't into Pokemon love Pokemon. That's what I always find. I haven't heard anybody say Pokemon suck. I've actually heard more people complain about Magic than Pokemon,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, you got anything else, Mike?
Nah, I'm good. It's a good show.
Patrick,
I'm good to go.
Michael, any parting
Yeah.
thoughts?
I'm pretty much set. One parting thought would be that in 6 months we'll know. In about 6 months we'll know.
We'll know what?
We'll know if I won or not for that art contest.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah, a while ago. So what? End
Right.
of January or so.
Yeah.
The art contest ended, and nobody's going to know the final results until like the beginning of this fall or what have
Jeez,
you.
that is a long wait.
It's a long way, but when you really think about it, it's like how many people enter. They have to filter through so many drawings.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So
Well,
I'm
good luck.
hopeful. I'm putting all my chips in. I think I won.
Awesome. That'll be extremely exciting.
Yeah, I would love to show people, but I can't. I gotta keep that drawing in lock and key. I
That's
can't
part of
show
the
it
deal.
off.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll be excited when it's over to see your drawing, regardless of what you win. And we'll even be more exciting if you actually win, and we get to have you on our show to announce that and tell us about it too. That'd be awesome. So
Definitely.
yeah. All right, that'll do it. Appreciate everybody stopping by and checking out the show. Appreciate the chat. And until next time, don't forget, appreciating great art is awesome. And reading a great story is fun. So why not pick up a comic book and do both? Xcellar out.